Whether the sun is shining on the café terraces of Boulevard Saint-Germain or the Seine River is shrouding Notre Dame Cathedral in gloomy clouds, Paris has a way of enchanting visitors. The romance may begin with a first glimpse of the Eiffel Tower, followed by strolls down wide tree-lined avenues and through beautiful formal gardens. The beauty of the city seduces visitors. Each quarter has its own special appeal. The Latin Quarter is a fascinating maze of narrow lanes and antique pedestrian streets. The chic Champs-Élysées hums with vitality and style. Montmartre, just outside of Paris, exudes an old-world village charm and proudly displays its bohemian background. Small surprises, such as family-run bistros with handwritten menus, cobblestone lanes full of quaint boutiques, secluded squares adorned with flowing fountains, and elegant tea salons, where dainty jewel-like desserts beckon from glass-covered pastry cases, should be sought after seeing the museums and monuments. Paris throws a spell of enchantment in every secret corner and at all of the major sites. One visit could spark a lifelong interest. With our list of the greatest tourist attractions in Paris, you'll discover what makes the City of Light so appealing, as well as the fascinating sites to visit. Here are some of the best places to visit in Paris. 1. Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower, or Le Tour Eiffel, is the most visited tourist attraction in the world and ranks high on the list of places to see in France. It's hard to think that when the edifice was originally displayed, it was condemned as a monstrosity. Alexander Gustave Eiffel constructed the renowned tower for the 1889 Paris exhibition, which commemorated the French Revolution's centennial. The tower is made up of 18,000 iron parts that weigh over 10,000 tons and are fastened together by 2.5 million rivets. This unique structure is now regarded as a brilliant architectural achievement and the most iconic site in Paris. The tower was the world's highest skyscraper until the Empire State Building was built in New York City, reaching a height of 324 meters. The Eiffel Tower is a once-in-a-lifetime experience for first-time visitors. Many people are taken aback when they see the 4 gigantic pillars that support this 10,100-ton monument as they arrive at the esplanade where the information desk is located. The Eiffel Tower Gardens, which surround the esplanade and were recently refurbished, showcase lovely landscaping in the Belle Epoque style. Pedestrian routes winding through the gardens lead to ponds, a grotto, and belvederes with views of the Iron Lady are shaded by leafy trees. An elevator trip or a 360-step climb up the Eiffel Tower's first level at 57 meters is required to reach the top. On this level, you'll find public restrooms, a gift store, a cafeteria, a brasserie restaurant that is presently undergoing renovations and will reopen in 2022, and an outdoor terrace where you can take in the views. The Eiffel Tower's second level at 125 meters is reached through a 344-step stairway or an elevator journey from the first level. This level offers comparable services to the first, with the exception that the observation platforms provide a better view of more Parisian landmarks such as Notre Dame, the Louvre, and the Basilique du Sacré-Cœur, and there is a fine dining restaurant. On the second level, Le Jules Verne, a Michelin-starred restaurant, serves exquisite culinary dinners of sophisticated contemporary French cuisine in a magnificent setting. The dining rooms of the restaurant include large windows that allow views of the Eiffel Tower's structural beams and the cityscapes of Paris. An amazing elevator journey from the second level is required to reach the top level, which is at a dizzying elevation of 276 meters. One of the most fascinating things to do in Paris is to visit the top level, but it is not for the faint of heart. Tourists will want to take pictures for a while. There is just the correct distance for picture-perfect photo ops from either the Jardins du Trocadero, a short stroll across the Seine River, or the Parc du Champ de Mars, the lawns in front of the tower. 2. Musée du Louvre. The Louvre is the most important of Paris' major museums, and it was formerly the abode of France's rulers. The Pyramid du Louvre, a glass pyramid designed by Eo Ming-pei in 1917, is where visitors approach the museum from the courtyard of the palace. Thousands of works of art, many of which are considered masterpieces, are on display at the Musée du Louvre, ranging from antiquities to European paintings from the 15th to 19th centuries. It is impossible to view everything in one visit, but visitors can concentrate on a specific gallery, such as classical sculpture, Italian Renaissance art, or 17th century French paintings, or take a self-guided tour to see the highlights of the Louvre Museum. The Mona Lisa, also known as La Gioconda or La Joconde in French, was painted by Leonardo da Vinci between 1503 and 1505. Many visitors rush through the museum only to view this one artwork, but even if time is short, there are many more must-see works of art to admire. The ancient Venus de Milo sculpture, the monumental Victoire de Samothrace from the Hellenistic period, Veronese's Wedding Feast at Cana painting, Botticelli's Young Lady with Venus and the Graces fresco, and Eugene Delacroix's Liberty Leading the People, depicting the Parisian uprising of July 1830, are among the Louvre's most amazing masterpieces. Tourists should take a guided tour of the Louvre to get the most out of their visit. The Louvre Museum skip-the-line tour leads visitors directly to the museum's most iconic works of art, such as the Venus de Milo and the Mona Lisa. A guide who is an art expert delivers in-depth comments about the masterpieces throughout this 3-hour tour. The Jardin des Tuileries, one of Paris' most beautiful parks, surrounds the Louvre on one side. The Tuileries Gardens were designed by renowned landscape architect André Lenaudre in the 17th century traditional French style, with carefully maintained trees, statues, and paths. Visitors can relax and take in the scenery on park benches and cafe restaurants with outdoor seating. 3. Cathédrale Notre Dame de Paris. Notre Dame is located on the Isle de la Cité, adjacent to the Latin Quarter, in the center of Paris. The Isle de la Cité, an island in the Seine River, is the historical and geographical heart of Paris. The Romans erected the Gallo-Roman city of Lutetia on this little strip of land, and the kings of France lived here from the 6th through the 14th centuries. King Louis IX, Saint Louis and Bishop Maurice de Sully founded the Cathédrale Notre Dame de Paris in 1163, and it took more than 150 years to complete. The cathedral was built in the early Gothic style at first, but later extensions of the west front and nave demonstrate the shift to the High Gothic style. This magnificent medieval structure is a Gothic architectural achievement. With its abundance of statues and gargoyles, the ornately decorated front gives a magnificent appearance, while complex flying buttresses offer structural support for the massive structure. Visitors should pay special attention to the Gallery of Kings, which is located above the doorway on the intricately decorated west facade. From Childebert I through Philippe Auguste, there are 28 rows of elaborately carved figurines depicting the French rulers. During the Revolution, these individuals lost their heads. The heads are now on display at Cluny's Musée. Enter the sanctuary after appreciating the beautiful gateway to take in the majesty of this vast domed chamber. The sanctuary seems to go on forever, as tourists are drawn in by the light of flickering candles. Beautiful stained glass windows light the interior. The rose window in the north transept is the most notable. The Virgin is shown in 80 Old Testament scenes in this beautiful work of art. The cathedral was severely damaged by a big fire in April of 2019. The medieval roof and the 19th century spire both fell. The full scope of the damage is still being determined. The inside is currently closed to the public. The structure is being stabilized and repaired as part of a project. The cathedral will be rebuilt and restored to its former glory by the city. Work on the restoration is still ongoing. 4. Avenue des Champs-Élysées. Until André Lenaudre planted it in the 17th century, the most colossal boulevard in Paris was a dismal tract of marshes. The boulevard's beautiful structures were created by Baron Haussmann, a Parisian city designer. A century later, the Champs-Élysées are split into two sections, with the Rond-Point des Champs-Élysées serving as the crossroads. The Jardins des Champs-Élysées and the Petit Palais Fine Arts Museum are located on the lower half of the Champs-Élysées, which runs parallel to the Place de la Concorde. Luxury boutiques, hotels, restaurants, cafes, theaters line the upper section, which extends to the Arc de Triomphe. This lively location attracts a large number of tourists and serves as a meeting point for Parisians. The Champs-Élysées is known for upscale designer boutiques like Tiffany & Co., Louis Vuitton, and Cartier, as well as prestigious establishments like Maison Lagerie, a patisserie shop renowned for its 18th century tea salon and delicious. The swanky gastronomic restaurant L'Atelier de Jules Robuch in Étoile, which has one Michelin star, and the legendary Brasserie du Luxe restaurant and Hotel Le Fouquet's are the top choices for fine dining. Although the Champs-Élysées has a refined reputation, there are many budget-friendly establishments such as the Disney Toy Store, Starbucks, Quick, Burger King, and McDonald's that appeal to travelers and students on a budget. 5. Musée d'Orsay. In the restored Gare d'Orsay, the Musée d'Orsay houses a magnificent collection of 19th and 20th century art produced between 1848 and 1914. The Universal Exhibition of 1900 prompted the construction of this Belle Époque railway station. The museum's expansive galleries house some of the world's most cherished masterpieces. The Orsay Museum is one of the top venues in Paris to visit if you want to learn about Impressionist art. The diverse collection of paintings delights visitors, from canvases that display Monet's soft pastel-hued brushstrokes to Gauguin's wild, vivid settings. The collection includes works by all of Impressionism's masters. Impressionist geniuses Edgar Degas, Edouard Manet, Claude Monet, and Auguste Renoir are among the painters shown, as are post-impressionists Pierre Bonnard, Paul Cézanne, and Vincent van Gogh, the pointillists, and bohemian artists such as Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec, Claude Monet's The Magpie, Gare Saint-Lazare, Poppy Field, and Luncheon on the Grass, Vincent van Gogh's self-portrait in Starry Night, and Renoir's Dance at Moulin de la Galette, which depicts a festive party scene in Montmartre, are among the museum's most famous works. A bookstore and gift shop, a casual cafe, and a fine dining restaurant are all available at the museum. The museum's restaurant, which used to be the Hôtel d'Orsay, a luxury hotel within the original Gare d'Orsay, and is now a historic monument, has gilded ceilings and brilliant chandeliers. 6. Palais Garnier, Opera National de Paris. The Palais Garnier Opera House was commissioned by Napoleon III in 1860 and designed by Charles Garnier in an opulent Baroque style. From 1862 through 1875, Garnier dedicated himself to the project non-stop. Today, this eye-catching monument serves as a reminder of Napoleon's imperial rule. Poetry, music, idyll, recitation, song, drama, and dance are among the allegorical figures shown on the facade's 8 sculptures. The loggia features busts of famous composers such as Rossini, Beethoven, and Mozart, while the cupola is topped by an Apollo statue with allegorical figures of poetry and music. The opulent 11,000 square meter interior dazzles guests upon entering the structure. The main foyer, with its magnificent grand escalier marble entrance staircase, and exquisite gilded lighting, takes up the majority of the building's space. The horseshoe-shaped theater has a cozy vibe to it, despite its capacity of 2,105 people on plush red velvet seats. The theater's splendor is enhanced by the gilded balcony, a large crystal chandelier, and a Chagall ceiling painting, which creates the ideal dramatic backdrop for cultural performances. A prominent calendar of events is held at the Opera Garnier. There are also ballet performances, classical music concerts, and gala events in addition to opera. One of the most thrilling things to do in Paris at night is to attend a performance. It's also a fantastic way to tour the interior of the skyscraper while having a gorgeous evening. Another alternative is to visit during the day, entrance ticket required, or to take a guided tour. Inside the structure, the Bibliothèque Musée de l'Opéra has 3 centuries of archives as well as displays dedicated to the art of opera. Drawings of costumes and sets, scale models, and paintings of the building are also part of the museum's permanent collection. A store at the Opera House sells opera-related literature and gifts. Coco, a trendy restaurant within the Opera House that provides exquisite contemporary cuisine made with seasonal ingredients, will thrill fine dining connoisseurs. Coco serves lunch and dinner 7 days a week, as well as weekend brunch every Saturday and Sunday with live music. Reservations are strongly advised. If you enjoy this video, please consider subscribing for more content like this. Thanks for watching.